Hello, and welcome to our broadcast brought to you by NetApp. I'm your host, Katie Bavoso from the Channel Company. Storing and managing data shouldn't be the most time-consuming task of your customers' day-to-day operations, but that data is likely much more plentiful and decentralized now compared to just 2 years ago. But migrating all of that data off legacy systems to a single location is too frustrating, right? Well, it doesn't have to be. Amazon FSx for NetApp ONTAP allows partners to enable customers to swiftly migrate applications and run them on AWS using the same multi-protocol file storage workflows and data management capabilities they use today on-prem, without having to change application codes or how data is managed. Today, we'll discuss in 3 segments why Amazon FSx for NetApp ONTAP was introduced, its value to customers, as well as hear some success stories about its use. I'm now joined by Satish Lakshmanan of AWS, Ronan Schwartz of NetApp, and Christopher Swadish, hybrid cloud leader at SoftChoice, a valued partner of AWS and NetApp. Welcome, everyone. So great to see you. Let's get started with our first segment today, meeting the need for enterprise capabilities in the cloud. So first of all, this is going to go to the AWS side of the house. So Satish, it's over to you. What was the motivation for bringing Amazon FSx for NetApp ONTAP to market?
Yeah, thanks, Katie. And firstly, thanks for having us, Ronan and Chris. Great to see you guys again. Katie, what happened was, Amazon is one of the most customer-obsessed company. As we were talking to customers, and most of them were users of our FSx portfolio, which is really a fully managed file storage solution that is available to them. And we had offerings for Windows File Server, and we had offerings for FSx for Lustre for high-performance applications. And many of these customers were using NetApp, since 1992, have been using NetApp as their primary source of file systems. And we're looking for the right cloud migration options. And based on that ask, we decided that it made sense for us to extend that portfolio by working closely with NetApp to deliver this technology. And that gives the customer a fully featured NetApp ONTAP platform in AWS and gives them, as a result of it, the simplicity, agility, and scalability that any AWS service offers.
Ronan, let's go over to you. How can on-prem capabilities be integrated into the cloud?
So I think many of our customers, many of the customers that I work with, they're actually focused today on their journey, how to take their applications to the cloud. And when they're doing that, they're actually dependent on key capabilities like their NAS data management, for example, or things like snaps and tiering and locking and snap locks, etc. These are things that have been critical for their success on premises. And when they're doing their journey to the cloud, until we made this effort and integrated ONTAP and made it a first-party service, an AWS FSx service, customers were looking into their option, like, how do I fulfill this task? How do I replace these capabilities? Do I need to re-architect? How big is this re-architecture effort? Now with FSx for NetApp ONTAP, they're able to take the entire set of capabilities they love and use very heavily on premises and get it as is in the cloud. It makes the question or the dilemma much easier. Being able to build your application on the same best storage operating system ONTAP now in the cloud is making a huge difference in simplification.
Well, let's bring Chris in to talk more about this. So Chris, SoftChoice has a unique vantage point from partnering with market leaders to implement a range of solutions for customers. What customer trends are driving the demand for a service like Amazon FSx for NetApp ONTAP? And how is SoftChoice using the solution to drive customer success?
Great questions, Katie. Thanks for having me here. Before I answer that directly, there's a common trait that I think you'll see across AWS, NetApp, and SoftChoice. It's really customer obsession around driving customer success. Helping customers to be agile and innovative. And there are 3 core tenets that I think all companies are struggling to address: spend, efficiency, and true transformation on the business. All these imperatives need to be balanced. And so we've realized at SoftChoice that one of the ways we can best help our customers is by helping them answer 3 core questions. One, how do they reduce technical debt in the environment to fund new critical projects? Two, how can we help them optimize existing technologies within their portfolio to make sure they're getting the best use of those investments? And three, how do we help them innovate to deploy solutions that really help power modern applications and data to help the business be truly successful? And I think NetApp, SoftChoice, and AWS help address many of these challenges.
Well, let's continue this conversation in our second segment, helping customers extend and migrate on-prem to AWS. Ronan, you're going to answer this first one for this segment. Why does Amazon FSx for NetApp ONTAP address customer cloud challenges?
So customers that want to run workloads in the cloud, they're depending on infrastructure and critical infrastructure like block storage and file storage really drive the move of application and how well application and workloads in general work in the cloud. FSx for NetApp ONTAP is really bringing the maturity and the best of breed storage, shared storage operating system to AWS. And because it is a native service, it kind of inherits agility and scalability and security and user management from the AWS platform. So what you're getting is basically a best of breed alternative for shared storage running on a strong cloud infrastructure, really infinite scale. This is something that is truly addressing the cloud core challenges. The way I see it is every customer can now get the multi-protocol support that they need. They get the support for Windows and Linux workload. They get the support for demanding database workloads for their SAP and other things. All of that from a single solution that is giving them the data protection, the availability, the durability that is basically needed. It is built in a way that this service is even automating many of the tasks that are required to be successful. Things like backup, like replication, are really built into the offering with a near zero RTO and RPO. For me to summarize it, I think that customer challenges to move to the cloud are being reduced significantly by enabling the customer to use the storage OS that they're used to from on-premises in the cloud. And by the fact that it is fully integrated, really a native part of the AWS platform, these challenges are being totally removed and the customers can aggressively shift their workloads into the cloud.
Chris, let's go over to you to talk about customers. What types of customers are you seeing as the best fit for Amazon FSx for NetApp ONTAP? And what use cases do you see being the most relevant to this solution?
And I think Ronan said that really well. It definitely relates to what we're seeing in field. You know, we're seeing a broad mix of customer success across the board, across industries and market segments. Most are existing NetApp customers that are really working to modernize their capabilities and leverage AWS as a preferred cloud to drive innovation. The need to seamlessly extend from data center to cloud is often one of the first indicators that FSx ONTAP is a great fit. From what problems are we solving in use cases? It's really aiming to solve a number of complex challenges, everything from migrating and extending workloads seamlessly to AWS, creating new robust environments to build new modern applications, modernizing data management, simplifying business continuity. Really everything from providing file level services to supporting really complex applications and databases. It's pretty extensive.
It is pretty extensive. And we're actually going to go a little broader with a similar question for you, Satish. What market segments are the most receptive to this new service?
Yeah, I think, Chris and Ronan summarized it beautifully, and I'll add more details to what they said. The reason customers across the board are interested in this platform is because it's one of the richest file systems available out there, right? It's been proven across all different kinds of enterprise applications. When you think about file shares, user shares, department shares, home directories. When you think about IT applications, these are high performance IT applications, SAP, Oracle, SQL Server, customer relationship management applications, ERP, virtualized environments such as VMware, line of business applications that span multiple verticals. When you think about financial services, healthcare, life sciences, media and entertainment, and Chris talked about data protection and replication. Almost every customer that has these traditional enterprise use cases can benefit from it. And the use cases, to add to what Chris was saying, when you think about backup MDR, when you think about hybrid bursting to the cloud, when you think about running hybrid environments where you have on-prem storage and you want to burst to the cloud because you don't want to put in a secondary data center, or even cross-region when you're entirely cloud native and you want to replicate from maybe one region to the other. ONTAP gives you all of those capabilities. One final thing I want to add is what makes it really interesting. If you look at the customers we have in our portfolio, we have traditional enterprise customers who can benefit from the rich data management capabilities of ONTAP. But we also have cloud native development community, right? People we call digitally native developers, so people we call ISVs who have an on-prem enterprise applications and they're migrating them to the cloud. They need a high performance shared file system, and all of them can benefit from this. So we're seeing successes not just in enterprise, but also in digitally native and ISV segments across multiple industries and multiple verticals.
Very well said, all three of you. Let's go into our final segment. Segment 3, identify new opportunities to expand customer reach. So going back to you, Chris, where are you seeing the quickest adoption for Amazon FSx for NetApp ONTAP? Also, what is your advice to companies looking to develop clarity in the face of rapidly evolving digital transformation needs?
Most of our engagements have been in upper commercial and enterprise organizations across healthcare, finance, manufacturing. But I'll tell you, the quickest adoption is really within our existing NetApp accounts that are working to mature the way they're leveraging AWS for a lot of the scenarios we just discussed. But really, any customer that's looking to drive value and innovate more aggressively in cloud, they know that data and the ability to manage and protect that data is essential. And so, our advice, I start by saying understanding business strategy and the unique goals is really essential. It's one of the reasons we take a very data insights-led approach at Softchoice. For customers that are newer to cloud, maybe they're just trying to extend their data center footprint and starting on the modernization journey, we provide a fully funded cloud readiness assessment. And for those customers that are much more mature in their use of cloud and already driving pretty complex services and really trying to further explore ways to leverage the technologies across NetApp and AWS, we offer what we call a cloud architecture review. And in both cases, the approach is really to provide insight to customers on the technology that they're leveraging, where gaps exist, where best practices may or may not be getting leveraged, and walking away with really an understanding and insights on where a solution like FSx ONTAP can really drive significant value. It's also clearly helpful to have a valued and trusted partner who understands the various complexities of a project like this. Everything from native cloud services, hardware, software, licensing, and ideally, right, that same partner who can be there for you from helping with assessment and architecture, implementation, migration, and ongoing support. At the end of the day, it's finding a partner that you trust is in it to provide complete enablement of your success.
Satish, back over to you. How are you making it easier for partners to succeed with this new solution?
To add to what Chris said, partners are very central and critical in the success of customers' cloud journey. Chris talked about two phases of the journey, and we recognize that customers are in various stages of cloud migration. But if you think about Chris's consultative practice, which is the front end piece of it, engaging with customers, understanding what workloads they have on-prem, guiding them through which one should stay on-prem versus which one should migrate to the cloud, is a very important part of the consultative element that customers value. We have a lot of programs and tools made available to really excellent partners such as Softchoice to enable them to be successful in doing that assessment and identifying the right set of services that is right for the application and workload that helps them in doing that assessment. The second part of it, Katie, is implementation. Once that assessment is completed, actually helping with them with that migration, helping them with deciding any net new applications that they're going to write, which ones of those that need to be cloud native and therefore can leverage, high performance shared file systems such as ONTAP. It's that piece of the journey, migration, and then continued use of the cloud that Soft Choice and other partners can continue to sell their managed services. In addition, we have a lot of incentives and programs that we provide to partners, right, throughout that journey. I talked about tools and incentives in that front end ideation phase. We talked about incentives to help them with migration with programs such as MAP, storage MAP, which we have grandfathered ONTAP into. And also after that, once customers continue to do their cloud journey, to help them cost optimize, to continue to look at the usage of compute, networking, and storage, and bring to bear the complete portfolio that NetApp has to offer. So I think all of those are possible, and I don't think customer successes today and successful cloud migrations could happen without partners such as Soft Choice.
Well, one very important question that I have for you, Ronan, we know that this has been such a successful solution. It's a fantastic partnership going on between Amazon and NetApp. So what's next for the partnership?
As you said, it have been a very, very successful partnership, and the way I look into success is basically by the fast adoption that we are getting from the customers, and it gives me personally a huge joy to see customers moving things into the cloud that they didn't think they can do before. If you ask me what is next, I think every day and every month there is actually newer capabilities that we're bringing into the market. If I just look back, just a little bit back, when single zone availability, reducing the price for customer that want to start, support for high-end application with increased performance. So we are seeing a very, very aggressive roadmap of bringing new functionality as well as a better price performance, kind of empowering the customer to do more with a lower cost. So this is something that is happening and will continue to happen as we're looking into the future. Almost in parallel to that, what NetApp is doing is bringing a broader set of capabilities to surround FSx and making it all easily available inside the AWS. These are basically a set of capabilities that allow customer to further optimize their storage, their compute, data services that help you automate the entire data lifecycle, automation and manageability. We're basically bringing the power of the NetApp portfolio surrounding FSx and going beyond FSx into AWS, really making it easier for customer to extend their on-premises investment in their on-premises infrastructure to the cloud. It is actually, from a customer perspective, I think moving the production application to the cloud is one step, but actually moving disaster recovery and backup and the rest of the capabilities is another huge opportunity to get better service to their end customers. I think to summarize it, very, very aggressive roadmap on the FSx core offering, bringing the entire NetApp portfolio in an easy to consume way to FSx, and really making customer be able to bring their entire application, their primary application, but also the surrounding data to the cloud.
Yeah, and Katie, I want to add something to what Ronan just said, right? He talked about a fantastic start to this service and relationship. But I think to his point, there's a lot of innovation that we're planning to co-invent together. And the best is frankly yet to come.
The best is yet to come indeed. So we also want to know where to direct partners and interested channel providers who'd like to learn more. So Ronan, let's start with you. Where can they turn to continue this conversation?
I think the easiest is if you go into cloud.netapp.com/AWS. This is an amazing place to start. You can actually see there key product information, customer examples, and it will help you navigate into a wealth of information. But this partnership is core to NetApp. So your local NetApp team in every region, in every place, is enabled and very eager to talk to you about the opportunity to basically leverage your ONTAP skill set, your key capabilities in AWS cloud. And I think my partners from AWS are in the same situation. So I think this conversation can start from the web. It can start with your local team. We're looking forward to have that conversation with you.
I'd like to add to it. I think to Ronan's point, If you want to try out the service, come to the AWS console and fire up some file shares. You'll find it super easy and rich in capabilities that can meet your enterprise needs. So all developers, come on board the platform.
And Chris, if you'd like to have a chance to let us know how we can connect with SoftChoice, where can we go?
Yeah, absolutely. Always happy to help. If interested in getting in touch, softchoice.com is the easiest route, or contact your account team or our cloud specialist team.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. That brings us to the end of our time together. It was a pleasure speaking with you all today. And thank you at home for watching or listening. Once again, I'm Katie Bavoso. Take care.